So these are pictures from past Oratorical Fest. Enjoy as we wait for more people to log on. As we go down memory lane.
Memories of in person.
I was gonna say, doesn't that seem like a lifetime ago? Wasn't that long?
Oh, the room is filling up as usual.
Such fond memories. Woohoo!
We were so young.
The good old days.
Oh, I remember the excitement of the kids coming in. Look at that audience, huh?
Standing room only.
Oh, we could have, no, not that one, no. Wow. Welcome, everyone. We see you coming in. We're just reminiscing for a few minutes before we get started. Feel free to greet each other, greet us in the chat. And as we go on today, feel free to cheer on our kids. Look at that audience. Woo! Oh, I remember that. It was so much fun.
Setting out all the tables, decorating, getting all the judges' tent cards and all the laptops so they could plug their score sheets in.
Oh.
And most importantly, this year was from the 50th anniversary of the African American Studies Department. And so we partnered with that endeavor in our theme, which was to educate, equip, and empower for purpose. And so you'll see the spirit in that banner where the S is for strength, the P is for perseverance, the I is for imagination, the R is for responsibility, the I is for integrity, and the T is for talent. And you are going to witness so much spirit tonight in our young people's performances. We are very proud of all of them for all of their hard work. Want to welcome all of you into this space and to tell you how appreciative we are of you for all of the hard work that you did to support your young people in this Oratorical Fest competition this year. Last year would have been our third, but instead this year is our third because of COVID. And you could see from that large audience that there was no way last year we would have been able to do this live. But this year, we were determined. And so we are thankful for everyone who took the time to do video submissions, for our judges who took the time to come to a Zoom party to watch and to judge and to maneuver their Google Sheet scorings without the help of someone right next to them to walk them through it. So it's been exciting. It's been fun. It's been amazing. It's been an exercise of our spirit and our determination to make sure that we have this opportunity for our young people to shine, for them to engage in Black history in an exciting way, and for them to have the opportunity to practice their public speaking. So thanks again to all of our staff and parents and students who worked so hard to make it to this final competition for our district-wide Oratorical Fest. Woo! Our theme this year is Black Women Triumph. And we know that with Kamala Harris, our new vice president, who also may many years ago have been practicing her oratory skills on a stage if we were in person, just like you, our Berkeley students are doing this or have done and are doing. And so we wanted to really highlight that we triumph in spite of, that we do achieve and overcome, and that strength to overcome is the theme, Black Women Triumph. So from Africa to the abolitionist movement, to the civil rights movement, to the Black Lives Matter movement, to the vice presidency of the United States of America, we are triumphing. And so we want to celebrate that. We honor all of you for joining in that theme and for joining in this competition, because we know we stand on the shoulders of our ancestors. So I want to acknowledge our Director of K through 8 Schools is here, Debbie Dean. Woo-hoo. Thank you so much for all that you've done. She had to do double duty with this because she's K through 8. So there's elementary competition and there's the middle school competition. So we do thank you for your support and just want to open the floor for you to give some welcoming comments.
Thank you so much, Ms. Babbitt, and I'm so excited to be here. I'm the former principal of Willard, as some of you know, and in my experience at Willard, the true highlight of the year every year was watching the students prepare and deliver for the oratorical, and they always took our breath away, our students did, with how committed they were to making sure that they were ready to do an oratorical, and then to watch them in front of their peers deliver their speeches. It's unmatched to any other activity that we did. So as now the director of K-8 schools, I celebrate all the schools in this activity, and there's a little piece of my heart that I miss watching it all in the making at a school site. What I want to say about that is that I really want to thank the students. It is a very brave thing to take on doing the oratorical. So thank you, students, for your commitment. I understand if there's nervousness, and thank you for working past that. And our staff of teachers and the parents that helped prepare the students for this, again, it's your commitment to our students that makes this successful. I want to now move into introducing two of our other panelists. We have Miss Anne Marie Caligari, who is the coordinator for the Black History Oratorical Fest and the supervisor of our Office of Family Engagement and Equity. Ms. Caligari carries a vision for our district, and she helps us live it every day. She sets a high bar for us to live her vision, which is the right vision for our students and our families. I also want to acknowledge and introduce Ms. Raina Stuffel, who she is our speech therapist at Willard Middle School, and she is our technical director. So when Ms. Caligari and Ms. Babbitt came to me about the oratorical, I said, we've got to get a little bit of youth in here that understands all the mechanics of putting on such a production. And no one could do that better than Ms. Raina Stuffel. So thank you so much. It's nothing but an honor to be here. And I'm so excited to watch this.
Thank you so much, Debbie. I want to circle back for just one moment and to just say thank you to Laura Babbitt for, or now it's Director Babbitt. When we started the Oratorical Fest, it was parent Laura Babbitt who was going back and forth with me about how do we do something in our district that is exciting. That's not another meeting, but really uplifts Blackness, which at this time in our history, we know is definitely necessary. And back then, when we started this 2018-2019 school year, it was definitely necessary there as well. I pray there comes a time when it is not necessary, because we are all as people elevated. But here we are. We came together and with the support of others, other parents, came up with doing something like this, which is the Black History Oratorical Fest. I just want to share with you that when we started this, we had no idea that we'd be here today. This was just a one-time thing. Let's do something that's cool and let's move on. But it became very clear to us after scraping our money together to get trophies and medals and whatever it is we got the first year, it became very clear at the end of the evening that this was not a one-off, that we'd have to do it again and again. And I will have to say that last year it was a little disappointing that a week before this event was scheduled was when we all came home. And it has just been within the last few weeks that our students have been back in school. And I want to say to you that it is exciting, the thought that they're back in school, because it really increases our excitement that next year we're going to do this in person. This, the Black History Oratorical Fest, those pictures that you saw, that's what it's supposed to look like. But we did the middle school Oratorical Fest last week, and it actually turned out pretty nice. You know, we worked it. We worked with what we had, and we uplifted our kids because that's what it's all about. So I'm going to tell you that this evening is we are uplifting Black women. Black women triumph. But I want you to also think about the fact that we're uplifting our children. That's what it's all about. So it's going to be a perfectly imperfect evening of our students who are going to be doing their best and doing an amazing job. But if something happens, if we have a technical difficulty or something, just bear with us, because this is the first time we're doing this with the youth, with the young technology that Debbie referred to, which we appreciate so much. So just bear with us and just let's stay focused on the amazing work of our children. So I'm going to go through what this evening is going to look like for you. And I'm going to say to you that in a few moments, you are going to be introduced, first of all, by our very enthusiastic announcer, who is then going to be presenting all of our students who are going to be doing their speeches, poems, raps, etc. After that, we're going to introduce you to our judges. And then we will have one of our judges, who happens to be a Berkeley High School student also, to present the first, second, and third place trophy winners. I'm specific in saying trophy winners because all of our students are winners, and all of our students will receive from us accolades of appreciation for their hard work and all that they have done. And in the words of I remember hearing at one of our last events, on the way out, after all the students had performed, we had our first, second, and third place winners. I heard a student who was not one of those winners saying, the student said, "I cannot wait for next year because I know what I'm dealing with now." And I was like, that's what it's all about. Healthy competition. And that's the excitement that I would like to go into this evening, Black History Oratorical Fest, Elementary Division. And so now I am going to introduce, like I said, an extremely enthusiastic student. She is a fifth grader. And she is also the winner of last year's Oratorical Fest. And she is as youthful as Debbie described, and she will put our energy to shame. So with no ado, I would like to introduce Miss Nevaeh.
Technical difficulty, bear with me.
It was just me, yay! I'm so glad.
That's what we were thinking about.
And feel free to put comments in the chat. You know, we're all family. Encourage the kids as they scroll through.
All right, take two.
At least now we know, Raina, you're human. Yay!
Woohoo! We have 135 participants. On the count of three, let's see a waterfall.
Hello, and welcome to the USD 2021 District-wide Oratorical Fest. My name is Nevaeh, and I am a reigning champion from the 2019 competition. Today, I will be your master of ceremony.
Oh no! You guys, middle school went so smooth, and here I am. Okay, let's try this a third time.
And because you put it out there that we might have technical difficulties, you shouldn't have put it out there.
I think we jinxed you.
I think so. No, I'm just teasing.
I repeat, this will be a perfectly imperfect evening.
And I want to thank everybody for picking us over the NFL draft. Thank you for coming tonight.
Well, they picked their babies, you know they picked their babies.
All right, third time's the charm. Anne and Laura and Debbie, please let me know if something else goes wrong. Here we go.
Hello, and welcome to the BUSD 2021 District-Wide Oratorical Fest. My name is Nevaeh, and I am a reigning champion from the 2019 competition. Today, I will be your Master of Ceremony. This year's theme is Black Women Triumph, the historical election of former BUSD student Kamala Harris to become the first Black and first woman Vice President of the United States of America is the inspiration for this year's competition. The images behind me of the Vice President Harris and Ruby Bridges, the first Black student to desegregate a white school in the United States, symbolizes the journey of so many Black women. In her acceptance speech for the Vice Presidency of the United States of America, Senator Kamala Harris thanked the women who fought and sacrificed so much for equality, liberty, and justice for all, including the Black women who are often overlooked, but so often prove that they are the backbone of our democracy. From the continent of Africa, the abolitionist movement, civil rights movement, and Black Lives Matter movement, the Vice Presidency of the USA, with all of its contributions from math, science, engineering, medicine, educational leadership, sports, arts, and on, Black women triumph. All right, everyone, let us continue on to our first contestants from Ruth Acton Elementary School, Celia, Macy, Sage, and Luca, and they will be reciting an original piece called When Flowers Fall to Freedom.
Flowers Fall to Freedom, recited by Celia Hureshi, Macy Goodson, Sage Murphy, and Luca McGurk.
When flowers fall to freedom, people will gather on the tree and wonder what could happen if they had not fallen.
Because they watered the flowers that will fall, and a girl could stand up tall, loud, and proud and say, I will make a change. I will be free. I'll be a Black woman, a beautiful, strong Black woman. That's me.
If she can do it, why can't we? A petal falls in the story of Kamala Harris, the first woman, South Asian, and Black vice president, shows courage. I was raised to be an independent woman, not the victim of anything.
Another petal falls, and Michelle Obama's powerful story shows me leadership. Do we settle for the world as it is, or do we work for the world as it should be?
A third petal falls, and Ruby Bridges' story of a Black school girl going into a white segregated school shows me bravery. My message is really that racism has no place in the hearts and minds of our children.
Fourth petal falls for brave Amanda Gorman, who dreamed of becoming president only to find herself reciting for life. Where there is always light, if only we're brave enough to see it, if only we're brave enough to be it.
Fifth petal falls for brave Bessie Coleman, who shows me that you can live up to your own expectations. You've never lived till you've flown.
Another petal falls for Ruth Acton, who shows me persistence. There will be a way.
And for every petal that falls, there will be a way.
We will make the world the way it should be.
We can see the light, and we are brave.
We are independent. For every petal that falls, the hope expands. For every petal that falls, a world gets better.
For every petal that falls, our world gets better.
With every step we take. And these women are the ones who inspire.
These women are the heroes.
And now look at Mae Jemison, look at Opal Tomedy, look at these inspiring women and notice, how often do you see people like them?
But we are all pollen, and these women are bringing to us a new flower, a new destiny, a new beginning. But when time turns, we can all speak out.
When the times turn, equality will run our country, not what just is, because when flowers fall to freedom, history restarts.
You can be the last petal.
There was a time when the fires were taking over, their ice melted, their light snuffed out, yet they rose. They persisted.
Now, a little Black girl could gaze at a flower and notice the darker petals. She can now water them and take them into account.
For nobody can exist without help, and the darker ones are just as pretty, only different.
Our differences make us whole, and now that counts.
For if there are no dark petals, the flower wouldn't be the same. This flower, this hope, this light of America, which will one day grow to be the country we dreamed it be, because there's still work to be done. Equality for Black people, women being empowered to work in science and global warming.
This world is not finished yet. This world has a long way to go. But slowly, as we make changes, the flower changes. The flower becomes stronger. The flower becomes taller.
The world we live in can be a sunflower or a dandelion.
We decide.
We are the ones who make the changes.
We are you.
Can you smell the flowers? Because I can. And thank you, Ruth Actie, for that original piece. So now let's move on to our second contestant from Malcolm X Elementary School, Teddy. And he will be reciting Still I Rise, written by Maya Angelou.
Still I Rise by Maya Angelou. You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies, may trod me in the very dirt, but still like dust I rise. Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? 'Cause I walk like I've got oil wells pumping in my living room. Just like moons and like suns with the certainty of tides, just like hopes springing high, still I rise. Did you want to see me broken, bowed head and lowered eyes, shoulders falling like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries? Does my haughtiness offend you? Don't you take it awful hard, 'cause I laugh like I've got gold mines digging in my own backyard. You may shoot me with your words, you may cut me with your eyes, you may kill me with your hatefulness, but still, like air, I'll rise. Out of the huts of history's shame I rise, out of a past that's rooted in pain I rise. I'm a black ocean, leaping and wide, welling and swelling, I bear in the tide. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise into a daybreak that's wondrously clear. I rise, bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave. I am the dream and the hope of the slave. I rise, I rise, I rise.
That was good, Teddy, and I like your shirt just like mine. Mine says Maya on it, who actually wrote that piece. Now we have from Malcolm X Elementary School a song written by Stella and Tabitha named Persisted.
Hi, I'm Tabitha.
And I'm Stella.
This is a song we wrote for this year's Oratorical Festival theme, Black Woman Triumph. And the song is called Persistent. There was Ruby Bridges who went to school. Despite the haters, she persisted. Didn't let anyone get in her way. They kept persisting no matter how many times they were pushed back. No matter how many times people said no. But that didn't stop them from trying again and again, yeah. Rosa Parks wouldn't give up a seat, yeah. She took a stand for equality. Persisting, 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 persisting. They kept persisting no matter how many times they were pushed back. No matter how many times people said no, that didn't stop them from trying again and again, yeah. They all had some courage in them, all they needed was a little courage, a little fire to start inside them, yeah. The founders of Black Lives Matter, Alicia Garza, Opal Tometi, and Patrice Kalista did it in 2013. They're the founders, They kept fighting no matter how big the struggle. Oh, marching on, don't let anyone stop them. They kept persistent, persistent. Bye. Thank you.
Thank Thank you for that original song, and let's make sure that we keep on persisting. Now we have a play called On the Bus from Rosa Parks Elementary.
Hi, this is Valentina Garcia, and I'm the new boss. And this is the play On the Bus. Hi, my name is Rosa Parks. I'm about to get on the bus in Montgomery, Alabama. Here's my bus fare.
Okay, lady, give me your bus fare and get off the bus and go to the rear door.
Why do I have to get off the bus?
Look, lady, I didn't make the rules, so you get off the bus and go through the rear door. Rosa Parks just stands there and doesn't move. Everyone on the bus is watching to see what happens next. The bus driver goes over and stands near Rosa and escorts her off the bus.
A few weeks later, Rosa got on the bus again, and this time she was able to sit in the middle seat. Here's my bus fare. I'm exhausted and my feet hurt.
At the next stop, several white people got on the bus. Now there aren't enough seats for everyone. Okay, all the black people moved to the back of the bus.
All the black people stood up and went to their back. They had to stand because there were no seats available. Rosa did not get up.
Get up and move to the back of the bus now.
I heard what Jim Crow said. I am sick and tired of being here like I work hard just like everybody else. I vote just like everybody else. I should be able to sit where I want.
Well, I do care what Jim Crow says, and if you break the laws like everyone else, you will go to jail like everyone else. I'm calling the police. Rosa just sits there in her seat until the police arrive. They escort her off the bus.
I know my rights. I want a lawyer. The next day, the NAACP lawyers arrived to talk to Rosa, and the Montgomery bus boycott began.
Because of Rosa Parks and the NAACP to the highest court in the land, black and white people can now sit together in harmony. That's the story of Rosa Parks.
Thank you so much for telling the story of Rosa Parks. But now we are moving on to another one from Rosa Parks Elementary School called Starlit Dreams by Sienna and Kaylee.
This is an original poem
called Starlit Dreams by me, Kaylee, and
me, Sienna. I look into the sky and stare at the beautiful crescent moon. While I listen to the tune coming from the living room. I look around at the Mae Jemison posters. I hear the humming getting closer.
I think about going to the moon someday. I hear the humming in the doorway. I think about May, Joanne, and Catherine, who all used to be black girls dreaming, just like me. I hear my mom's sweet voice reminding me that it's time to eat.
Once I come back from dinner, I see the stars shimmer. I want to touch the stars and fly into the sky. Ever since I was a little girl, I dreamed of one day flying high. I would fly high like Bessie Coleman or reach the moon like Stephanie Wilson.
I got in bed and pulled up the covers all the way to my neck and pictured myself flying to the moon in a purple spaceship. That night, when I fell asleep, I had a dream. I was floating in space with May, Joanne, and Stephanie.
Underneath the clouds, I could see Bessie and Catherine smiling up at me. May,
Joanne,
Catherine,
Bessie,
and Stephanie.
All women.
All women.
I yearn
to be.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much, Sienna and Kelly. That was amazing. Thank you. Next up, we have Ataji from Sylvia Mendez. Is performing Too Black by Latasha Williams.
Hi, my name is Ataji, and today we're doing a speech named Too Black. I'm the fire if I separate. I am fake. If I assimilate, they consider my uniqueness strange. They call my language slang. They see my calms as conceit. They see my mistakes as defeat. My questioning I'm unaware. My advancement is I'm unfair. To voice concern is discontentment. If I stand up for myself, I'm too defensive. If I don't trust them, I'm too apprehensive. They consider my success accidental. They minimize my attention to potential. Ellos toman mi amabilidad por debilidad. Ellos toman mi silencio por muda. Mi personaje constantemente subestimado. El orgullo que mirarse de me hace demasiado negro.
Go Ataji! That was great. Next up, we have Lila from Emerson performing an original piece titled The Three Lights.
The Three Lights. These three women took the future of our world into their hands, making it their mission to make themselves and everyone equal. They're writing out our future, like how Amanda Gorman writes truth and power on a piece of paper. Kamala Harris, the first Black VP, who is being our light and leading us just as Harriet Tubman led slaves to freedom. They have sent us a message. They are tired of being told what to do. They are tired of being isolated. They are tired of being tired. This is why they're writing our justice song.
Our next contestant is Zara from Craigmont, also performing an original piece, Love and Hope for My Skin. Let's go, Craigmont!
Hi, my name is Zara. I go to Craigmont Elementary, and I will be reading a poem called Love and Hope for My Skin. I love my skin. My skin is beautiful. It comes in all shades, from midnight, coffee, walnut, golden, tan, wheat to latte. I appreciate my skin's uniqueness. So why are others afraid of my skin? Because it's like strange fruit? Or strong like Harriet Tubman freeing the slaves? Brave as Ruby Bridges going to school? Determined like Rosa Parks on the bus? Tough as Annie Lee Cooper and Selma? Inspiring like our Vice President Kamala Harris? My hope is girls and women keep changing the world through her story. Mine is being the first Craigmont student to enter this contest. Women's stories are being told because we matter. Black girls matter. Thank you.
Now last, but certainly not least, from John Muir Elementary, we have 5th graders who call themselves Black Girls Can.
Megan Thee Stallion, Why I Speak Up for Black Women, originally published in the New York Times, performed by 5th grade students at John Muir Elementary. Black Girls Can.
Black women are constantly disrespected and disregarded in so many areas of life. I was recently the victim of an act of violence by a man. After a party, I was shot twice as I walked away from him. We were not in a relationship. Truthfully, I was shocked that I ended up in that place.
As a victim, I've been met with skepticism and judgment.
After a lot of self-reflection on that incident, I've realized that violence against women is not always connected to being in a relationship. Instead, it happens because too many men treat all women as objects, which helps them to justify including abuse against us when we choose to exercise our own free will.
From the moment we began to navigate adolescence, we feel the weight of this threat in the weight of contradictory expectations and misguided preconceptions. Many of us began to put too much value to how we are seen by others. That is, if we are seen at all.
The issue is even more intense for Black women who struggle against stereotypes and are seen as angry or threatening when we try to stand up for ourselves and our sisters.
I rebuke Kentucky's Attorney General Daniel Cameron for denying Breonna Taylor and her family justice. I anticipated some backlash. Anyone who follows the lead of Congressman John Lewis, the late civil rights giant, and makes good trouble, necessary trouble, runs the risk of being attacked by those who are comfortable with the status quo. But you know what? I'm not afraid of criticism. And it's ridiculous that some people think the simple phrase, protect Black women, is controversial. We deserve to be protected as human beings. And we are entitled to our anger about a laundry list of mistreatments and neglect that we suffer.
Maternal mortality rates for Black mothers are about 3 times higher than those for white mothers, an obvious sign of racial bias in healthcare.
In every industry, women are pitted against one another, but especially in hip-hop, where it seems as if the male-dominated ecosystem can handle one female rapper at a time. Countless times people have tried to pit me against Nicki Minaj and Cardi B. So incredible entertainers and strong women, we are all unique in our own ways.
Wouldn't it be nice if Black girls weren't inundated with negative, sexist comments about Black women? I wish that every little Black girl was taught that Black Lives Matter was co-founded by Patrisse Cullors, Alicia Garza, and Opal Tometi.
Walking the paved path by such legends as Shirley Chisholm, my hope is that Kamala Harris as Vice President will usher in an era where Black women in 2020 are no longer making history for achieving things that should have been accomplished decades ago. But that will take time. And Black women are not naive. We go back to fighting for ourselves because, at least for now, that's all we have.
Thank you, Megan Thee Stallion, for standing up for Black women.
All right, Black girls can, and yes, we can. Now, who wants to know the first, second, and third place winners? Well, to find out, let me introduce Miss Ann Caligari, the supervisor of the Office of Family Engagement and Equity. Woo! Woo!
I am just so thrilled to see the quality of our students' work. Thank you, students, so much for taking the time. Thank you, staff who supported them, and thank you, families, for supporting your students as well. This is definitely something that we will remember. And now it's time to introduce our panel of judges. They come to us from Berkeley Unified School District. Our student, Shayla Avery, who is a student leader at Berkeley High School. Carol Porter, who is one of the original integrator of Berkeley Unified School District. Thank you for joining us, Carol. Bishop Kelly Wood from the Covenant Church right here in Berkeley, also a partner with the Office of Family Engagement and Equity. Dawn Williams, who is a teacher at Berkeley High School, as well as the co-lead of the African American Studies Department. And last but not least, we have Executive Director of the Berkeley Public Schools Fund, Erin Rhodes. Welcome, everyone, and thank you for giving your time. And now, Ms. Shayla Avery is going to let us know who will be taking home our first, second, and third place trophies. Shayla?
Thank you, guys. You guys all did such an amazing job. Okay, now to announce the winners. For third place, from Malcolm X Elementary School, we have Teddy with Still I Rise. Now in second place, from Rosa Parks Elementary School, we have Sienna and Kaylee with Starlit Dream. And in first place, from John Muir Elementary School, we have Black Girls Can reciting Why I Speak for Black Women. Woo! Yeah!
amazing. I am so proud of our Berkeley youth. I am so proud of the brilliance that's been displayed this evening. Everybody make some noise wherever you are. And we know that you are all winners. We know that you all put so much work into this, and we know that it means so much, not because of a trophy, but because of the inspiration that it's going to put within your spirit and that will lead and guide you as you continue upon your journey through life. So we are so proud of all of you. I definitely want to note that some people may say, what? I was expecting this to be first place or that to be first place. But we did have some very strict guidelines and some very strict rules. And so there were some fancy animations or maybe some different songs or rhythms that actually weren't allowed in the competition. And so that did play a part in the judging of this evening's event. But having said that, we are so glad, and we had to display everyone's work that was demonstrated because it's more about creating that inspiration to the world, because this can be viral, you know. And our theme is always speak and inspire, no matter the sub-theme. And so I hope everyone feels inspired. If you feel inspired, just put something in the chat. Let us know.
Well, as you are leaving, I see the numbers are going down and starting your evening. You'll note that we did it in 45 minutes this year. and we got all of the information in, but I will tell you, I prefer the longer in person so that we can do the hugs and the pictures and everything. So I'm really looking forward to that. What we are going to have to do in place of all that loving and hugging is we are going to be we're going to be contacting the winners, the trophy winners' families. And we are going to be asking you how you would like to receive the awards. Most so far from our middle school have asked that we take it to the school, and so that they can do their own celebration. So I'm thinking it will probably be the same. So we will be taking the trophies, we will be taking the t-shirts and the medals for all of the students who participated to the school site. We have to figure that out, and we will get it to you next week. If you would like to connect with us, please email us at oratoricalfest@berkeley.net. Especially for those who are expecting to receive your prizes, please do contact us and we will respond to you. I'm just so excited that we were able to pull this off this evening. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for just supporting our kids. I saw all the positive comments. I'm going to save the chat because our kids need to see that they were being cheered on by you during this amazing event. And we ask you to just keep in mind that it takes a lot to put these productions on. And if you'd like to participate and support it for next year, let us know that too, because it could be you in one of these squares or on the stage next week, helping us with announcing and celebrating our kids in fine style. So I want to once again say thank you, thank you, thank you. Raina,
yes.
I don't know if we heard your voice other than when things kind of, you know, went a little wonky. But I just want to say big kudos to you. Appreciate you so much. Let us hear your voice.
Well, I want to say thank you to everyone here watching tonight for dealing with the technical difficulties, and also to Laura and Anne. It's just been so wonderful working with you both, and you know, just seeing your guys' vision and like having it come to life even in this online platform is really amazing, and it couldn't have been done without you. I also want to thank Debbie for hooking me up with these two because it's been a riot. And anyone who wants to be a part of this for next year, like I highly recommend you sign up, email oratoricalfest@berkeley.net and join our team because it's been so much fun. So thanks again, Anne and Laura, and to all the students. I've seen your videos 100 times. and they just get better and better, and I just love it. So congrats to everyone.
Thank you so much, Raina. We definitely couldn't have done it without you. And I want to thank all of the judges. We did most of the taping or the editing over spring break. And so we have one very special person to acknowledge and to thank. Her name is Nevaeh. Babbitt. That's my daughter. So this year, as a director, I said, no, I don't think you should compete. But guess what? You can be the MC. She was all in. So she's still growing and developing. And so thank you for allowing her to have that space to take part. And we want to thank Shayla Avery. I just want to give her a huge shout out. She's on her way to UCLA. Black girls can. Woo! Little Tiger. Washington Elementary. I know she's gone all through Berkeley schools. So we want to acknowledge her, and we want to acknowledge the Berkeley Public Schools Fund, of course. Woo! The t-shirts and the medals, the funding this year did not have to come from our pockets. Came from Berkeley Public Schools Funds. We appreciate you so much.
Thank you.
Give of their time assisting in the judging as well, and just really making sure that this state remains the jewel of the district.
And thank you, Debbie, so much for our collaboration, our partnership, my discussions about how the heck am I going to pull this off. Your genius of coming up with getting Raina to help was just a blessing. I thank you for offering that and for making it happen. We couldn't have done this without you. So I want to thank you so much.
And I just really want to thank everybody for doing this, and Laura and Ann and Raina. That was a lot of energy that you put into it. Thank you, students and families. And it is this great shot in the arm for all of us. It's very inspirational. So again, thank you so much. And I'm going to get a computer so I can have a nice screen like yours someday.
And Director Babbitt, I just want to thank you for your partnership in doing this. When we do this, it doesn't feel like work. It just feels like fun. And like Raina said, even during our meetings and planning, it's like fun because we're doing it for our students. And when we watch those videos a million times like we have, we just felt like they were our own children. So we want to just thank you so much for honoring us with just sharing your children with us this evening. And we ask that you encourage them, those who took home trophies and those who didn't, encourage them to continue, because what's going to happen is that they are going to go in middle school. Our middle school winners competed in elementary school. I just want you to know that. And then they're going to go on to high school and beyond and do great things because they got over all that fear of being in public and speaking in public, starting at elementary school. So I want to see in the chat, do you think that these kids are amazing or what? These kids blew us away. Thank you so much, everyone. And it is 5:52. Yes, I'm seeing incredible, amazing, so amazing. Much appreciation for organizers. Thank you so much. It was fun, a labor of love. And I think I've remembered to say everything other than how much I love and appreciate our families, the folks here for helping to put this together. Please chime in and let me know if I've forgotten anything that needs to be said. I think that's it.
Thank you, Berkeley.
Thank you. Thank you so much. See you next year.
Bye.
Bye. See you next year, everyone. Amazing. I see that. Incredible performances. That's right. So talented and passionate. That's true. And the recording is going to be on our district website. I forgot the 41 of you who are left. It's going to be on our district website. Yes. Thank you.
You can see the middle school on there now. It's right on top of the homepage. You don't even have to search. It's right there. Boom.
So we have arrived. We're on the front page now of the website. Thank you all so much. much. You guys are amazing.
Good night.
Good night.
Save chat. There you go.